I've never met someone who's self-made that comes from a cush situation.
Right.
The reason that they are doing what they do is because they've had to crawl out of darkness in some way, shape, or form. It might not be the same as yours, but there's something there that they had to crawl the out of. And they hated it so much that they were willing to do anything to get as far away from it as possible. We can't sit here and look at people who have these cush upbringings and all these advantages and all this and say, oh, well, they got lucky. No, you got lucky, because those never had to learn how to fight. They never had to learn how to crawl through the shit. They never had to learn how to take blows and get the back up. You did. And that's an advantage. You got lucky. They didn't get lucky. What is up, guys? It's Andy Frisella, and this is the show for the realists. Say goodbye to the lies, the fakeness, and delusions of modern society, and welcome to reality. That's what we're doing.
All right.
It is what it is.
Cue me that.
No, you can't add more. You're going to ruin the show.
Sorry.
All right. Anyway, today we have Q&AF. That's where you submit the questions and we give you the answers. All right. You can submit your questions a couple different ways. The first way is,
guys, email these questions into askandy@andyfrisella.com.
or you go on YouTube in the comments section, ask your question in the comments. Or if you want to call in on the show, go to the link right underneath the YouTube video, click that link, fill out your question, and you could talk to us live on the show.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe.
If
you don't ask some dumb shit.
Mm-hmm.
All right, but that's how we do it. Now, if you're new, which we're getting a lot of new people right now, welcome. This isn't the only format of the show. We have shows within the show. All right, we have today we have Q&AF. Tomorrow we have CTI. It stands for Cruise the Internet. That means we're going to put topics on the screen. We're going to speculate on what's true, what's not true, and then we're going to talk about how we, the people, have to solve these problems going on in the world. It's half comedy, half real stuff. All smoke. All right. Then we got Real Talk, which is 100% all smoke. And then we have 75 Hard Verses. 75 Hard Verses, where somebody who's completed the 75 Hard program comes on the show. We talk about how they were a dumpy turd and how they use the 75 Hard program to not be so dumpy. All right. They get their stuff together. You get the whole 75 Hard Live Hard program at episode 208. If you're unfamiliar with Live Hard, it is the entire year-long mental toughness program. It is the most popular mental toughness program ever in history, and it's free. You can get the whole thing at episode 208. All right, there's also a book available. The book is called The Book on Mental Toughness. You can get that at andyfrisella.com. And I also have a big drop coming on, I don't know, we'll say right around July 4th. Just right around there. So if you know, you know. All right. Now, we don't run ads on the show. Now, I know some people on YouTube that are not very smart say, well, YouTube runs ads in your show. No shit, I can't help that. We don't run ads on the show. I don't pick up products and say, hey, 14 times a show. Okay, we finance the show ourselves. I don't want to answer to anybody. So I ask very simply to help us share the show. All right. We put a lot of time, a lot of effort, a lot of money into delivering these messages, and we would like your help sharing the show. So we got a little thing that we say here. It goes like this. Don't be a hoe.
Share the show.
All right. So let's do what we got to do here, man. Yeah. You know, we make people better on Mondays. And
I was better today.
Huh?
I got better today. I got to drive a pretty sweet car.
Yeah.
Like 10 feet.
Yeah. Bro, that's all I trust you to drive it.
Dude, that fucking car is
You didn't wreck it, did you?
No, like, come on, man. Come on. I can drive.
Yeah.
That thing is like, it was like DJ Go. Like, that's what it was saying.
Oh, yeah.
Like, I started it up. It was like, let's go.
Yeah. That's what it says. Yeah. It's a GT Black Series.
Dude,
it's the so AMG sick. GT Black Series.
It's so sick. It's so sick.
Dude, I love that car too, man.
Yeah. It's dude, I was holding the brake more than
I've almost sold it. I've almost sold it a couple times and traded in for the new 3RS. Mm-hmm. But I think I don't know, man. Like, I like it better.
Dude, it's nasty.
Yeah.
It's that's a beast.
Yeah.
That is a beast. But yeah, man, let's get to making some other people better
cool.
today. We got some good ones for you guys as always.
We're starting off with a call in or a write-in
call first, man.
Right.
I got my man Jeremy waiting. So let's give Jeremy a call.
Hello.
Jeremy, what's up, dude?
Hey, how's it going?
What's going on, man?
What's up, Jeremy? How you doing, bro?
Doing good, doing good. We're getting some cars ready for the local car show tonight.
Where at?
We're in Oregon, Fio, little tiny town.
There we go.
They shut down the main street, and yeah, so I ain't got nothing cool like you, but I got some old Chevy Blazer and a C10 that I'm taking down there.
Bro, that's cool.
That's
I don't know what you're talking about. Yeah. So what else? Go ahead.
Oh, go ahead. I was gonna say, yeah, I enjoy seeing your cars. That's just inspiration for me. I'm definitely into the cars and the motivation that way. It definitely helps.
Yeah, a lot of people don't realize how motivational and aspirational cars are for people that love them.
Yeah.
Sweet, man. Well, Jeremy,
always
what
cool
we got?
seeing your stuff. So I guess my struggles per se would be in the making relationships with like-minded people on the same path, or even just finding those people. I grew up and kind of came really independent early on. Grew up with divorced parents, and my dad was not a great role model. So throughout that, I had to kind of grow up young, and got really hard to trust people and to give people the chance, and then getting kind of burned a few times, and it just made it harder. And so I guess looking for input that way.
All right, so it's real simple. That's called life, bro. Like, I grew up the same way, dude. Like, my parents been divorced since I was 5 years old. I've been f***ed over by every single I've ever met in my life, with the exception of like 10. Okay. The world sucks most of the time. That's why it's important that we have to live to a high standard. And here's the thing. You don't need anybody to trust or believe in you or support you to do what it is you're wanting to do. So, and the quicker that you build yourself into a person who is doing things, the quicker you're going to find other people that are aligned with that, right? Nobody that's actually doing things out there at a high level wants to waste their energy or time with someone who's not. So this is a common struggle with a lot of people who are trying to level up their networks. And when you're trying to level up your networks, it's important that it's very clear you may not have the result, but you're doing everything you can to live at that standard. Behave like them, act like them, be ambitious, be somebody who attacks, be somebody who's aggressive, be somebody who is looking to provide value to the people around them, not just take value. And those efforts are recognized by friend circles and peer circles that we would say are more down the road of the success journey that you might be right now. So I'm not saying you have to go out and produce the result. That always helps. But what I've found, and I've had this happen to me many times, is that people who were above me in the success journey were able to recognize that, man, this guy's hustling. He's doing everything he can. He's working hard. He cares. Let me see how I can help this kid out. And, I've had a number of those people along the way, come in and then, out of my life as I outgrew those people. So we have to understand, dude, that like very few friendships are permanent. Many of them serve a point in our lives. And then when they no longer serve either party, people grow apart. This happens in friendships. This happens in relationships. That's a normal part of life. A lot of people are wired to think about what they can get, not what they can give. And those people never win long-term. And I know that it's difficult and I know it feels lonely, but the reason it feels lonely is because it's rare. And you have ambition, you have drive, you have the want and the will to do bigger things. And not everybody has that, man. So when you have that, it's going to make you feel like you're alone. It's going to make you feel like you're the only one, but you're not the only one. There's lots of people like that. And the quickest way for you to become surrounded by that, is basically twofold. One, make sure that you're putting the effort in and living the lifestyle of a person that would be at that level. And two, make an intentional effort to be around those people. This is one of the reasons that Arete is such a successful program for entrepreneurs, is because people have a hard time connecting with other people that are ambitious, have drive, have focus, don't want to live the average Joe life. And so they join groups, and there's other ones too. This isn't a pitch for Arete. It makes no difference to me. But they join these groups intentionally so that they can be surrounded by people like that. But I will tell you that even in those groups where people pay to be a part, you are still going to have people that want to take. You are still going to have people who are there for them, not to contribute. And so you just have to develop more of a filter for understanding what someone's real, actual motivation is very quickly. And that will reduce the amount of heartbreak that you have, because when you're a good person and you give people the benefit of the doubt and then they end up burning you, and that happens dozens of times, man, it does start to wear you out, and I've struggled with this myself because, dude, I try to help everybody around me. I try to help everybody be successful. I tend to take everybody's problems and put them on my back, which is very difficult. And it's why I think I've been an effective leader. I won't even say a good leader because I'm in the process of becoming a better leader every single day. But bro, it's just a hard thing, and good comes with the bad. So when you have this want and this will and this desire to help people and you put their problems on your back to fix, a lot of times those people won't reciprocate, and that's just reality. So we have to become more finely tuned. But here's what I'll say. Out of all the times that I've been over, there's been way more times where I've developed great relationships and done good things and had great times and built, good friendships. And it's worth being that way. It's worth being that way even with the times you're going to get with. So, bro, I just, you got to understand the nature of the world. The world isn't what we want it to be. It's what it is. And we have to realize that being a good person, trying to contribute, trying to do the right thing is not always reciprocated, man. And that's just called fucking human nature. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. And I think, I've been listening to you for 5 years now. A buddy of mine turned me on to you, and it really validated a lot of, honestly, how I felt for a long time, but, just feeling kind of like held down, from people around me in a sense. And since then, I've had a big change, and during COVID, I left my job that I was at. I started getting told to put a mask on and got my construction license and just been doing my own thing. And it's been good, but it's been very challenging because I feel like it's, the higher standards you start putting yourself to, the more it seems like you have a target on your back because everyone's like, now, oh, you think you're better than us or this or that and the other. And honestly, been dealing it mostly in family. And
well, brother, you are better. Just own it. The quickest way to get over that shit is when they say, oh, you think you're better, just be like, yeah. Yeah. That's what I do.
It's pretty quick.
Yeah. And then I don't deal with the shit anymore because they can't say it again. And whether I believe it or not, they perceive me to think that I'm better. And no matter what I say, no matter how I argue, no matter how I try to convey to them, I don't think I'm better than you. I've just chosen a different path. I will just say, because I don't want to waste the time. Yes, you're correct. Yeah. Because I know from my experience that there is no convincing them otherwise. And that is not a problem with you, bro. That's a problem with them, their own limitations, their own regrets about how they gave up on themselves. And we have to accept that. And I know it's frustrating, but bro, that shit is only going to get worse and worse and worse. And then once you cross a certain line, once you cross over into undeniable success, those same people are going to be saying, man, dude, I knew Jeremy when he was just a young buck and he was getting it started. And I always believed in them, right? And like, you're going to laugh and roll your eyes and, you know, it's all going to come full circle, bro. Like, you just can't let that weigh you down, dude. Like, look, you know, I see this problem all the time, man. I see all these people who let people who are close to them or even random strangers on the internet who aren't doing shit, who are sitting at home with their Cheeto fingers, you know, eating their Hot Pockets in the basement. They've never built anything, you know, the only thing they've ever built is a good set of man titties. Like, these are losers, dude. And they're always going to be. And it's unfortunate, and I hate to say it that way, but it's just the truth. And winners don't like losers, and losers don't like winners. That's just the nature. That's the nature of human beings. All right? So you're on the path go ahead.
Well, I was going to say, like, honestly, I mean, we've been having some just ridiculous family stuff going on, and it's like nobody will be accountable for the truth. Like, your choices you make, the actions you do, you know, the choices, like, you literally choose to make your own truth. And so many people just won't even accept their own choices and truth. And then it's like, you're the bad guy.
Yeah, no shit. But that's because you did and they didn't. And that's always going to be the case, bro. If you want to be like them, go hang out with them and listen to their shit, because that's what they want. Because then you're not a reminder every single day. Every single time they got to think about somebody from their family who's actually doing something. It reminds them that they haven't done shit with their life, bro. And you're exactly right. The result of one's life is a choice, whether it's a voluntary choice or an involuntary choice. Most people think that the only time that life is a result of their actions is when they do the right things, and they fail to recognize that the passive choices they make when they're not engaged in trying to be better, they create the opposite result. And so you are correct. They do choose it, but they will never admit that, bro. And you will spend your entire life trying to get those people to see it, and they will never see it. So my advice to you, brother, is to understand you are on a different path. They will never get it. They will never clap. They will never cheer until it's so undeniable that you are winning. And then they'll come back around. But they'll only come back around because they think they can get some from you. Okay? Or they think or they think they can like get clout by saying, "Oh yeah, Jeremy's my homie."
Yeah, that's my nephew.
Right.
That's
exactly.
Yeah,
so
I know that guy.
Like, bro, listen. Just because someone's related to you doesn't make them your people. And that's the point. All right? And that sucks. Like, I know it sucks, bro. Yeah. It hurts. It's not fun. But it's reality.
Yeah. No, I got told I was a horrible person and that my kids were going to hate me and all this stuff. Literally yesterday, I had to kick my mother-in-law and her husband out of my house because they were just completely disrespecting my wife and tearing her down and seeing what she was, you know, what was happening to my wife. I was like, you need to leave. Like, I'm not going to sit here and let this happen, you know? And then of course it's just like, you're such a horrible person.
No.
And
that's the right thing to do, bro. You don't want that negative influence around your kids. You don't need to hear it. Your kids are not going to hate you. They're going to be proud of you for doing what's required, as long as you explain to them along the way, like, hey guys, I'm doing this because of this and this and this. And yes, I might miss baseball one time. I might miss soccer one time, but I'm trying to create a life so that you guys can have, you know, can play soccer and you know, like these, as long as you explain it along the way, they're going to respect you for it. And good for you for being man enough to kick those out of your house, bro. Because most people will just eat it.
Oh man, it was, I mean, between trying not to explode and just become part of the problem and just like, nope, we're just not doing this, you know, and
there you go.
Being, you know,
Jeremy,
being a dad, and it's tough.
Yeah. Well, listen, that's the toughest path you've ever take in your life is being an entrepreneur. And I'm sure being a dad on top of it makes it even that harder. So, it's going to be tough. That's it.
No, it's tough, but it's so rewarding. You know, I mean, that's what I always tell people, like, you know, like for me, like we've got friends that, you know, I've turned them on to listening to you and, you know, got them going to church and stuff that just, you know, it's bettering their lives and watching things change. And it's awesome. And then it's just like, when you get the people to come and they just want to kick you while they can and try to make life hell. And it's just like, I don't have time for that.
That's right.
You know,
you don't.
When it's family and trying to explain that, you know, it's like my kids understand. Like I told my wife, the only thing we can do is just give them as much of the truth as we can really give them without, you know, making it more than it needs to be to them.
Right.
But, you know, they're pretty receptive. I mean, our kid, well, it's my middle daughter's birthday today. She just turned 8 today. So
wow.
we're celebrating that too. But yeah, no, it's a tough one. I always told people, like, not really having the parents, you know, that I would have hoped when I grew up, but trying to be that person now.
Brother,
and
that's your job. Your job is to give them the life that you didn't have, that you needed. Okay. There's not a in this room that grew up with a perfect family. I'm sitting with 5 other guys.
Yeah.
I could tell you a story about every single one of them and myself and probably 98% of the people that work in this building. So don't feel sorry for yourself. That white picket fence, listen to me, that white picket fence, perfect family shit, that's a lie. Very few people have it.
Yeah.
So you can't say, oh, well, didn't have this or that. Yeah, you and everybody else, bro. Like, you have an opportunity to do the right thing. You learn your lesson. It's like what they say about people who, you know, are close to like a drug addict. Like I got a cousin, a distant cousin, who his dad is a alcoholic and he's never drank before. And, you know, that it's like they say, like, when you have an example, you either
choose to be like them or against them.
That's right. And you're choosing the right path, man. And you should be proud of that.
Yeah. No, and I think honestly, talking to you, I mean, I'm super thankful to get to talk to you. It's like, kind of helps validate your feelings when you feel like you're just fighting against the world, that you don't have many people sitting behind you at this time, you know, because I'm early on into all this, and being that we're obviously on a different path than most of our family, and it's just, like you said, it feels lonely at times, and, you know, getting to talk to, like, I've looked up to you, like, as a mentor, you know, it's like, I told my wife, I was like, yo, Angie and DJ are doing a call-ins now, and she's like, oh my gosh, I don't think I could ever do that, and I was like, well, I sent in a question. And so getting to talk to you, I mean, it's just awesome, you know, like I said, I really appreciate it. Like, it helps understand that I'm, you know, if I'm not just losing my mind, you know, like, why is this so hard, you know?
You're not, bro. You're not. You're on the right path, brother. For real.
Yeah. And that, you know, that's just one of the, like, you get people and they, oh, you know, you think you're better than us, or you're this or that. And it's like, well, I've put in a lot of work to do what I've got. You know, I'm 32 and this is our 4th house. We've got 43 acres and cows and horses, and, you know, giving our kids everything we can give them, you know, and it's like, why can't you guys be happy for us, you know?
Well, because they're not happy for themselves, bro.
That's all it is.
Right.
So.
Yeah. No, and that's, you know, like I said, that kind of the validation thing. I've been listening to you and you hear it, you know, and it's like, but then, you know, it's like crazy in the same sense to even just be talking to you. It's like, I feel like, you know, we're worlds away. There's no way I'm ever going to talk to Andy, but like this, I mean, it's awesome.
Listen, man, I appreciate you calling in, dude. You know, I'm just another dude out here trying to do it too. So I'm a little further down the road. I'm just trying to help you younger guys figure it out. I've been through all the shit you're talking about, and I'm telling you, bro, I understand, and I understand that it sucks, but I promise you it's worth it.
Yeah.
All right.
And I appreciate that. And, you know, hopefully I can pass it on to the next generation and keep bettering others and myself, you know. You should be everybody's goal, I hope.
You're already doing that. Okay? You got to remember that. You're already doing that. So keep doing it.
I appreciate it.
All right, bro.
Appreciate it.
All right, Jeremy, we'll see you, brother. Appreciate you.
Yeah, thank you, guys.
You're welcome, bro. Thank you.
Have a good one.
You too.
I love that, dude.
Yeah. I mean, look, dude, that's a common trait it's a common problem that anybody that chooses a different path outside the norm is going to deal with.
Which is most people.
Yeah, of course, bro. Most people just choose to do like everybody else. Mm-hmm. And anytime you choose differently, you're going to get that shit. Like, that's just normal. And the other thing, like, you guys listening, you know, I hear this all the time, man. My parents got divorced, or my dad was this, or my mom was this, or this or that. Yeah, bro. Like, everybody.
It's most people.
Yeah.
Right.
Like, dude, everybody's got shit. Yeah. Like, what are you going to do to correct so like your kids and other people don't have to deal with the same shit. Like,
you know what I thought about too, bro? Because like, you know, I look at it this way too. Right?
and well, hold on. By the way, that shit is the reason that you're on the path you're on.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's nobody, I've never met someone who's self-made that comes from a cush situation.
Right.
The reason that they are fucking doing what they do is because they've had to crawl out of darkness in some way, shape, or form. It might not be the same as yours, but there's something there that they had to crawl the fuck out of. And they hated it so much that they were willing to do anything to get as far away from it as possible. And that's just, so we can't sit here and look at people who have these cush upbringings and all these advantages and all this shit and say, oh, well, they got lucky. No, you got lucky, because those never had to learn how to fight. They never had to learn how to crawl through the shit. They never had to learn how to take blows and get the back up. You did. And that's an advantage. You got lucky. They didn't get lucky. Like, dude,
that's real, bro.
It is real. And it is real. And dude, people think like, oh man, that guy had everything. He got luck. No, dude, he's handicapped for life now. You learned all these skills. You learned all these character traits. You built all this shit inside of you, this grit, this fortitude, all the things that make people successful. You had to have. They didn't. And that's a huge advantage. When you meet someone like that in the battlefield, bro, you destroy them because they don't have those skills. They never had to develop them.
Yeah. Bro, that's real. I look at it like this too. It's like, you know, all the negative shit people will say when you're trying to go down that path and do good shit, just wait to hear what they say when you don't do shit with your life.
Yeah.
See what they say then.
Yeah, that's right.
You know what I'm saying?
That's right.
Like, be 40 years old, you ain't did shit.
Yeah, that's right, bro.
They're going to talk shit on that too.
And more importantly, what are you going to think
right
at 40 years old?
Right.
If you don't do shit, and you're going to think, God, dude, I listen to all these losers and now look what I got to show for it.
It's real shit,
man.
Yeah. That's real, man. Guys, let's get our next question. This is a write-in question. Let's talk about it, guys. Andy, question number 2. Andy, even when I achieve something, I instantly look for the next mountain. I dismiss compliments, downplay success, and hold myself to standards I'd never apply to anyone else. I don't know if I was raised this way or just became this way, but I want to feel pride without shame. How do I allow myself to be proud without feeling like I'm being arrogant or weak? Ooh,
what do you mean?
A little gratitude, I guess.
I don't understand. You did the work. You built the shit. Be proud of it. What are you talking about? It's very simple. Why the fuck do you give a shit what that person over there thinks about what you did? Were they there when you were grinding it out? Were they there when you were, everybody likes to talk about how lucky someone got. Like I just said a minute ago,
bro.
that's the wrong perspective. None of these that ever criticized me spent a day in the store with me my entire life. I spent years. None of them ever came and helped me do anything. None of them were there when I was struggling. None of them were there when I wanted to kill myself because shit was so hard. None of them. So I don't fucking care what they think about me driving a Bugatti to work or my other one to work. I don't care. I don't care.
Yeah, bro.
I don't care. You weren't there during the hard times. You have nothing to say to me that can take me away or make me feel less proud of what I've done. I've changed, dude, I don't even know how many lives with 75 Hard and what we do with our companies. And I have things to be proud of. And no one can take that from me. No one's going to shame me out of it. No one's going to make me feel bad about it. I did what they chose not to do. They could have came and done something similar with me. They didn't. So I don't give a shit. And you need to get a little more of that energy, bro. Were they there to help you do any of this? Were they there to help you pull through the mud? Were they there to, console you when you didn't have anybody? Clearly not. So why do you care what they say now that you're doing better? I don't.
Yeah, for sure. You also talk about this too. It's like, because I feel like there's a little nuance in the sense of like, I guess just being hard on yourself, not allowing yourself to be proud of the shit that you did. You know what I'm saying? When you're always moving that goalpost, setting that milestone that you're reaching, and when your goals are so big, how do you make sure that like to be proud in those moments when you do get those wins?
Well, I mean, dude, you have to acknowledge how far you came. Yeah, I mean, you said it. It's gratitude. You take inventory. Look, man, you can take inventory and acknowledge how far you've come and still be hungry for much more. You know, like, and that's why you want to take a dedicated amount of time to, like, every day to say, hey, man, you know, this is a tough day. I didn't do what I wanted to do, but look, I've come pretty far so far, you know, and yeah, it's very simple, man. It's
people get caught up in spending too much time in that reflection zone. You know what I'm saying? And all the shit that they did. Do you see that?
Yeah, man, because that's like the victim therapy culture we deal with now. You know, they got all this shit pumping out in everybody's brain, telling them they're broken and they need therapy and they have trauma and they need to journal 7 hours a day and have this morning routine and do all this shit. And like, it makes everybody think they're fucked up. You know, like when you're an entrepreneur and you're trying to build shit, it's just hard. Yeah. And you know what? You kind of have to be fucked up to be any good at it. You know what I mean? You kind of have to have something to prove. You kind of have to be a little insecure. You kind of have to have those things. Those are the fuels that drive people. Okay. And the reality is the world benefits from that. So how can you say that's bad? You know what I mean? Yeah. Like we have to.
People are eating because of that.
Bro, yes, we have to understand that the shit that's written for everybody else is not written for entrepreneurs. All these things, you know, the mental health and this and that and this. Bro, that's written for people who they don't have the darkness and they don't know how to leverage it to be better. You know, they're feeling sorry for themselves. They're making excuses. They know they haven't done what they're supposed to do, but then they make, you know, some sort of justification or philosophy that is really just a, you know, I didn't do it excuse dressed up in a nice outfit, you know, in a comfy little bed and some frills and shit. Like it's bullshit. Okay. Like entrepreneurship and building success is hard as it's hard. It's hard. It's never going to be easy. You're always going to feel like you're up. You're always going to feel like you're behind. You're always going to feel like, you know, maybe I'm not any good at this. But dude, if you keep showing up and you keep executing and you keep doing what you're supposed to do, the results will sprout and you will gain a little bit more confidence. But dude, even when you gain more confidence, you'll be at a new level. And when you're at a new level, guess what happens? All the same shit happens again. You doubt, you question, you're insecure, you push harder, you go to the next level. Just a repetitive cycle, dude. It's a hard life. But many, many, many people benefit from it. So it's something to be proud of. It doesn't mean you're fucked up. It doesn't mean you have to rid yourself of that. When you rid yourself of all that shit, you rid yourself of your fuel. All right. And when you rid yourself of your fuel, the growth stops. When the growth stops, people starve. What's worse? You being a little crazy or starving? Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like
when you put it like that.
Yeah. Like shit, man.
Yeah, man.
Dude, we've grown. This culture has changed from, you know, like when I'm just glad I grew up when I did because the culture's so different. Like entrepreneurs, successful people with drive, hustle, grit, fortitude, tough motherfuckers that refuse to quit were celebrated. You were told this is how you should be.
It was noble.
Yeah. Now we have the opposite. Those people are fucked up. Well, who's telling you you're fucked up? A bunch of nerds with a 4-letter degree that haven't done shit and sit in their living room with house slippers on and take notes about what they think is wrong with you. Get the fuck out of here. Go build some shit. You'll be happy.
I love it, man. I love it. Let's get another call in. Yeah, man. Let's get another call in. We got Josh. I like these names.
Josh.
Yeah, Josh. Josh sounds like a cool guy.
Yeah.
I know a few cool Joshes.
Yeah, I do too.
Yeah, just joshing around.
Yeah.
All right, let's go. Let's go. Here we go, Josh.
Let's keep the comedy to the CTIs, buddy.
Hello?
Hey, is this Josh?
Yes, sir. What's up, DJ?
Oh, damn. How'd you know it was me?
Because you sound like DJ. Josh, what's up, bro?
I'm blessed, brother. How are you?
I'm doing great, man. I'm just sitting here with the boys, taking some calls, trying to help some people, you know, maybe, you know, listen to a few DJ shitty jokes.
I'll try.
You know, and what's up with you, brother? Where you at?
I'm in SoCal.
Okay, cool. What business are you in?
The gym business. I own 2 gyms.
Okay, cool, man. How long you been doing it?
I got into the business at 18 years old, fresh out of high school. As an employee, quickly became manager, and then took over ownership about 3 years in at 21. I'm 25 now.
That's amazing, dude.
Damn.
That's awesome. So, what do you think I can help you with, man?
Yeah. So honestly, brother, I got a lot on my chest, but I'll start off by reading you the question I submitted in 250 characters, and then I guess we'll go from there. So, my question says that I typed in and submitted. It says 25 years old. I own 2 gyms. After 3.5 years, it's really 4, but after 4 years of working for free, I am now profitable. I need to pass out flyers, but I fear rejection outside of my own gym doors. How do I overcome this paralyzing fear?
Well, look, man, let me ask you this. Do you actually make people better at your gym?
Yes. The growth has been all referral based off of the incredible transformations and service. And throughout the years of being unprofitable, I had, in my spurts where I'd have to let a couple people go and be there 7 days a week for a year and a half, and then bring trainers on. And I'm there 6 to 7 days a week, and I treat everybody amazing, and the transformations and the results are there, and that's why I get so many referrals. But at the end of the day, with my overhead, my rent, and all of my expenses, that's not enough, and I've known that's not enough since day one to actually profit and live the life that I want to live.
Hold on. We're going to get to that in a second. But you believe that Josh cares enough to actually help people get results? Yes.
Yes, 100%.
Okay.
I'm very passionate about what I do.
Okay. So if that's the case, then you should have zero discomfort trying to help people out on the street and talking to them and offering them your services, or at least making them aware, because you actually do care, and you're not just trying to sell them some bullshit, and you actually are going to help them get results. And if they do reject you, which lots of people will, that's okay, because the 20%, the 2 out of 10 that are going to talk to you, you're going to build relationships with them, and you're going to change their lives. Okay. So you can't puss out because the 8 people are not going to want to hear it. You got to show up for the 2 that are going to change their lives. All right. So that's the first thing. Now let's get into this other thing about the profitability. Go ahead and talk about that.
Well, on that note, when it comes to that, like, I agree. There's something in my brain where I'm like, all right, I run both locations, all their operations by myself. All the employees are the trainers. I have 8 employees right now, but I'm running the operations, and I look at myself and I say, what would be the best thing to do right now to grow and generate revenue? And the answer is walk out, because I chose the location next to a big retailer for this purpose, and walk out and bring clients in and sign them up and change their lives so they bring in referrals and we grow. But my brain, I do other shit. I grab the flyers and I walk to the door, and then I end up doing something else. I have something deep down that keeps holding me back, and I know the answer is because I've listened to you since 2017. You've said this shit 100 times.
What's the answer?
Go do it. Don't be a pussy. Go to the grocery store and talk to every person in there, and don't leave till you talk to every person in there. And I know these things. I've been listening to you since I was 16 years old, but my brain, I puss out, and I know the answer. That's the problem. Is you could have cut off the MFCEO project 6 episodes in. You already said everything that needed to be said.
Josh,
the problem with young entrepreneurs is we don't listen.
You want me to come out there and kick you out the door, bro? Like, I will come out there and I will kick your ass out the door, and I will not let you back in your own gym until you bring at least 2 more people. Like, bro, listen to me. You have to do this. And here's an important thing. It's not just about growing your gym. It's about growing your skill set, okay? People are going to reject you up and down the path. It's going to happen for the next 25 years until you're so big that everybody's coming to you and you get to pick and choose, all right? That's where I'm at now. There's nobody that brings me anything where I don't pick and choose. I'm not asking for anything. And it's really nice. It's really nice. But it didn't get that way until I was willing to go down the path for, 15 years of getting told to eat shit. And learning how to handle people telling you to eat shit is a massive skill set, because most people can't do it. So I agree. Yeah, bro. So, like, look, man, you're building this up to be worse than it's going to be. All right. There's lots of things that can help
I
you.
agree.
If people are going to be rude, be nice back. You know what I'm saying? Well, I hope you have a great day, brother. Like, sorry to bother you. You know, just be polite back when they're rude. And a lot of times, you know, just like when they walk in your gym or, you know, you go in somewhere, like you've had a bad day, your dog died or some shit happened. There's a book called The 4 Agreements, and one of the main 4 agreements is don't take anything personally. And that really helped me realize, like, their reactions are not my control. If I go at it with the right intent, and my intent is to actually help them, then I'm doing what I can do. And maybe I present it wrong at first, but eventually I learn how to present it better so that it converts higher and it produces a better result. But ultimately, dude, this isn't about you just bringing people in the gym. This is more about you building this, the tenacious, relentless ability to talk to people. Because, dude, I'm going to tell you this, and this is very important. The more, and this is really important for the business that you're in, because people are never going to stop working out. But the more that technology infiltrates our society, the more valuable intercommunication skills are going to be. All right. And you're 25 years old, dude. You grew up on a phone. You grew up with technology. So it is a little bit harder for you because it's abnormal for someone of your age to do what I'm telling you to go do. But I'm going to tell you, dude, and this is real shit, that skill is going to become so rare that it becomes extremely valuable. And why it's going to be valuable to you is going to be because the way that your gym is going to scale and grow is going to be by you building community around your gym. And you can only build community with other human beings if you are great at dealing with other human beings. So when you tie all of this together, this is practice for you, bro. This is reps. This is what you have to do. And if you don't do it, you're just not going to be as successful as you could be. Not even close.
I agree.
So I know you know this, but dude, you know, when you're getting ready to walk out that door and you start to get that, you know, like that bitch voice is in your head and it's like, fuck. Like, bro, just walk right through it. Just keep walking and just go do it. And you're going to find out, bro, after the first time or third time you get rejected, it's not even a big deal. It's not a big deal.
Yeah.
And let me tell you something else. Are you married?
Brother, I've been with my girl since I was 16. I've done a lot of things right in my life. This is the only one thing that eats me alive every day.
Okay.
Well, yeah, I'm married. I've been my first 1 for 1, bro. Since we were 16.
Okay. Well, I was going to say, for most men in your situation, they usually aren't married, and your ability to talk to people is going to dictate the quality of the mate that you attract. So this translates into all areas of life. So while that doesn't apply to you, it's important for the other young men and young people to hear. So, dude, you've just got to force your way through it, man. And once you go through it once or twice, it's like the first time you walked into a gym, bro. The first time you walked into a gym, you were shitting your pants. I know you were, because I was too, and so was everybody else. It's very uncomfortable. But once you've done it, you're like, what the fuck was I worried about? What was I nervous about? And dude, this is just a mental block, and it's going to take force the first 2 or 3 times. And you know why it's eating you, bro? It's because you're letting it linger. If you go take this action today and you go out there and give out 5 flyers, even if it's just 5 and they all say F off, you're going to realize, holy shit, I've been letting myself get eat up over nothing. And it's going to free you.
I know that.
Yeah, then go do it.
I know. That's why. Trust me, brother. You've been telling me this for 7 years over my phone.
Listen to me. Hang up the phone and go and do it, because it's going to make you feel better.
I agree.
Okay.
I agree. And at the end of the day,
go ahead.
And the part, Andy, if I can just be extra clear, the part that I've been torturing myself with is the fact that, like, I don't know one person in my life that will work 4 years for free, 7 days a week, and go through the stress. And I've done all the other shit that's so much harder than this.
Yeah.
But this is the one thing I've let eat me alive. Yep. I worked for free for 4 years, and I had chest pains for 6 months. I thought I was going to die last year from stress. But that one thing that I haven't been doing is the solution to all of my issues, which is why it eats me alive, because it's the obvious answer that I know.
All right, bro. Well, do you want to feel better today, or do you want this to keep going?
Yeah, I agree.
You agree
That's
with
why
what? If you already know what man, go fucking do it.
Yeah. Well,
listen, dude.
Yeah.
Dude, go do it. You've already, like you said, you've already done all this shit. What's the worst that's gonna happen? Some fat
nothing.
Gonna tell you to
work out today.
Yeah, tell him to go eat a hot dog, bro. I don't like. It doesn't matter. Like, dude, just do it. You're gonna go home and you're gonna be like, that wasn't that bad. What the? And you're gonna feel lighter. You're gonna feel better, and you're gonna be proud of yourself. And you're probably gonna make fun of yourself. You're gonna be like, what the fuck was I doing? Yeah. You know. So, dude, you got this, bro. Like, you got it, dude. Just go do it. You listen. Just go do it. It'll fix all your shit.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, 100%. Well, thank you, man. It sounds like that's all that you need that you need to say, and there's nothing else for me to say at that point. Then
listen, brother. This will build your courage. Listen, you can't win in business without courage. It's impossible. You can't win without courage. The reason that all this stuff happened the last 4 to 6 years is because most people don't have it. If you want to win in real life, in business, you got to have courage. And what you need to do is you need to understand that this is an investment in your courage that is going to be required for you to level up. It just is. There's going to be much, much, much harder things than this down the road. I'll give you an example, dude. Like, this isn't the same thing, but it's a similar block that I dealt with. When I had my first retail store, I was so scared to open the second store. I was so scared to open the second store. I thought people were going to cheat me. I thought it wasn't, going to work. I had all these things that would go wrong in my head. And guess what? They all happened. Every one of them. Yep. But had I not went ahead and did it, even though I was scared, I wouldn't have, I don't know, we got like 40 stores now and we're opening more, like literally all the time. First Form wouldn't exist. None of this shit would have happened, man. You wouldn't even be talking to me. You need to pull the trigger, dude, because what it's going to do is it's going to free you up and build your courage and allow you to realize you don't have anything to be scared of, dude. You don't have anything to be scared of. Like, it's 100% mental. And if you don't do it, bro, if you don't do it, you're probably going to lose in business. That's the truth. And you need to understand that. Yeah.
Yeah. So, and keep in mind, when I submitted this question, I went in here knowing that I'm going to sound retarded.
No,
like, I already knew that.
No,
Josh, I knew that because, bro, I've been listening to you for 7 years. I sound stupid, but I already knew the answer. But I wanted you to shit on me.
Bro, I'm not shitting on you, dude. I'm making you understand. Listen, that first of all, that's not stupid. That's a real concern. It's a really good question because a lot of people struggle with it.
Stupid ones are the people that don't ask the shit.
The stupid ones are the people that don't do it and think that they can get around doing that and that they're just going to be able to ignore that part of their life. Yeah. Josh understands this is a big deal. This isn't about the flyers working. This is about overcoming something he's afraid of. Yeah. That's a big deal, okay? Like, I know a lot of people are listening. They're like, well, tell him to do this or that or this. We're not talking about that. We're talking about him getting over a mental block. And you have to learn how to do this because there's going to be more down the road. Yeah. All right? So, dude, this is not stupid. You're not stupid. I'm not shitting on you, but it's very important because if you don't learn how to overcome the mental blocks, bro, there's going to be more of them and you won't be able to overcome those. And it's going to limit your success for you, your girl, your future family, and everything you got going on, bro. And I'm not going to allow that to happen.
Yeah, I absolutely, yes. Thank you.
You're welcome.
100%. And the part that makes it, that really made me realize that I have to address this now, which I've always known, is as of January, started making a chunk of cash every month. Both locations are profiting great. And I still feel empty and dead and unfulfilled because the profits and being in the green, it doesn't mean anything to me because I'm still ignoring literally what's in front of my face.
Yeah.
So until this is addressed, no matter how much money I make, I'm ignoring something that's in front of my face is going to keep me up at night like it has for 4 years.
Bro,
So,
the fact that it keeps you up at night is a great thing because it means you're aware that it's something that you need to overcome. Okay? But this is so simple, you could overcome it today. Real talk. You could overcome it today.
Yeah.
And you should.
And I will.
All right, good.
Yeah.
All right, brother, listen, man. You're in a good spot. Just, follow through. You said you're going to do it today. Go do it.
I'm going to text you to find out, too.
Yeah, DJ's going to follow up.
Was that your number you were texting me on, DJ?
Yeah. What's the show?
All right, I'm going to hit you up. I'm going to text you like 10 times a day, bro, okay? I'm going to ask you what you're eating for breakfast. I'm going to check in.
Pics,
and if you don't text me back, I'm going to be pissed, bro. I thought we're friends.
Sweet, man. All right, Josh, go get it, bro.
Yes, sir. Appreciate you guys. Thank you for everything.
Thank you, bro. Go do it. You got this.
Yes, sir.
All right.
All right. Bye.
Bye.
Love it, man.
Yeah, man. Look, dude, it's not about the flyers. It's about overcoming the mental block.
Yeah. I was thinking about it too, because he said he's been with this girl since they were like 16. So the reality of it too, he's never had to really face rejection at all.
Well,
you know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah. Yeah, I mean, when you like girls and, you're young and you don't have the luxury of having one since you're 16, you're going to get used to being told fuck off.
Yeah, right.
Kind of comes with the territory. So.
I love it, man.
Yeah.
Well, guys, Andy, that was 3.
All right, guys. Hey, let's go out. Let's get it. Let's make it a good week. And we'll see you tomorrow.